The Lord calls us to do more than prayer for the unborn child. He calls us to ora et labora, pray and work, to build a culture of life in a civilization of love, where abortion will become not only unlawful, but unthinkable. And I would like to propose 5 practical ways to do this. I even invite you to get out your phones. If you have a piece of paper, internalize these 5 ways. The first is intentional and significant giving to entities that promote the sacredness of life. There are now 4 times as many women help centers as abortion killing centers. But these pregnancy centers go from fundraiser to fundraiser to fundraiser. If Christians simply set aside 1% of their income, that would go away. The second way, prayer and fasting. If just 2 Christians, look at my fingers, 1, 2, just 2 Christians from every church in America would spend 1 hour a week at an abortion facility, there would be a perpetual prayer vigil at all 613 abortion mills in the country. Along with that, fasting. Fasting can take the form of giving up the internet 1 night a week, or in my case, I go 6 days a week without looking at sports. That's big for this guy. That's denying yourself of illicit pleasure. The third way, change the language that we use. Listen to these 2 sentences. My friend has conceived a child, and that child has been developing 14 weeks in the womb. Listen to this. My friend is 14 weeks pregnant. Do you see the difference? It's very easy to say, I'm going to terminate a pregnancy. I have a problem pregnancy. But when you unpack with language, my friend has conceived a child, and she is in danger of killing that child. In the New Testament, God gives us one word, bephros, to describe John the Baptist in the womb, to describe the newborn Jesus, and let the little children come to me. Little children running around. One word in the Bible, bephros, child. God is telling us child in the womb, child in your arms, and child running to you. The word pregnancy is a 14th century Latin word. And if you visit Planned Parenthood's website, Guess what's all on the front page of it? Pregnancy, 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 pregnancy. Because it's so easy to change the way a culture acts if you change how they speak. The fourth way, 4D ultrasound imaging. Unbelievable technology. Statistics say that when a woman sees an ultrasound, upwards to 90% of them do not have an abortion. Guess what they do when an abortion-vulnerable woman goes into a Planned Parenthood center? They don't dare show them an ultrasound. When the procedure is happening, they don't dare see the arms, the legs, the heart beating. No, 90% will not go through it. And 4D ultrasound is greater than 2D ultrasound. It has amazing resolution and imaging. So show people 4D ultrasound. A picture speaks louder than words. And if you've been to the March for Life, take heart, my friends. There is a swell. There is an explosion of young people, college age, high school, because they're seeing with their eyes the truth of the humanity of the human person in the womb. The fifth way. Have the courage to see with your own eyes and to show others 13 years above what abortion really is. I highly recommend the movie Unplanned with Abby Johnson. I highly recommend Dr. Bernard Nathelson's Silent Scream video, where he shows the actual procedure, shows that little child struggling with all its might to get away from the suction instruments. We don't dwell on the horror and the violence of abortion, but once again, pictures show more than what words can often say. A friend of Dr. Bernard Nathelson, who was doing abortions, saw what was happening during that procedure of a child torn to pieces and ripped up, and he never did another procedure again. Dr. Tony Levatino was doing second and third trimester abortions, children that are big enough to live outside of the womb, and he would have a table each day, and he unfortunately would have victim after victim after victim after victim lined up in an assembly line, and it didn't bug him. His heart was so hard, so callous, he could look at his victims and then go out and have lunch. And then one day, he was backing up his car, going to work, and then he noticed a crunch. He gets out of his car, and to his horror, his little baby girl with blonde hair was covered with blood and all mangled. And he picked up his daughter. His daughter. And it cut him to the heart, and he never did an abortion again. Father, into your hands we commend our spirits. Help us to pray and work, to be your heart, your hands, your feet, your voice for the voiceless, that abortion will become not only unlawful, but unthinkable.